The main thing is to use 3 small experiments. The first experiment was shown at the Habit Tree Horse House. You can see it can alternately display numbers from Ling to Niu. This is what we use to show. This is the basis we use to display the heads-up point count. The second shoe is the boot clearing switch status points. When laying it flat, one drop should be bright. I suddenly came to my senses. If I let go. The third time was our investment. The third experiment is our electronic investment. When there are no cases at all, normally numbers from 1 to Liu will be displayed. When I was handling the case, he will stop at a certain number. So, what if it were me or if it was time? That time. Let's first accelerate the principles of the 3 inherent principles. First, the household registration office was over 77 yuan for the Mark 1 household registration office. Right now, it's on our ally side. This needs to be adjusted to release the hemp tube. Actually, there are 7. It must be something you accomplish. But both presidents must be certain. Output cut off. Here. This is how the boss's output is lost. It's very useful to show our investable variables. But if you use it directly, if it's the same compared to the 320, then we need Ba to come and go through it. It's such a waste. So we used this 70 or so. So we have 5 in one device. Only 3 people need to come through. You can control the 8 damage dealers with a single shot. Everyone is far away. Every organization has a deadline for the corresponding segment. The team integrator can display the corresponding organization. Next is the output section, the cleaning switch. There's a small pass on the cleaning switch. This is the reason for our shaking. Look, there's a small metal ball inside. When it was time for our horse shooting to fly and release the shed, the football does not connect 2 drinks. A steep road is a path to pass. When it was time for our new meeting to set up the tent, the ball rolls away. The road was cut off. It's also an Isha finger, eliminates independence area. You can tell from the movie about these 2 drinks that they were on stage. Yes, there are no ones. In the end, I decided not to drink either of these 2 things. How much? Take these 2 centimeters to the money to catch the case. Move it away. What do you want? Finally, there are 2 binding electrode seconds. Combining these 2 parts is also quite simple. When we finish the room and don't follow the rules, the electronic device will release news that the book mom is completely 1 to 6 water, sir. How much heavier would you have to move? When we follow the electrode press, to make the spleen sink, it will be simple until pressing the electrode drop. Then, let's get our best head book down. Eventually, a little water will appear. It's exactly like real investing. So let's take a look. The materials used for this time frame include basic keypads. The materials needed for this session are SPS, our main controller, is completely weak. 日行 K put down power and 222 power switch. There is also an LED bottle with silver. There are also 7-segment digital tubes, and the chip and silver materials are C15, full chips, and there's another case. Next, let's look at BAM's Machian. This first time is simply digital leadership for leadership. Horan. First, let's look at the first 3 images. Not only are they pronounced by phonetic sound, but they are 70, 10, 15, and 5. All 3 newly created books are pressed. Now let's look at the half marathon section. The most convenient half-marathon mode is also relatively simple. I use our first good 3-tongue J ink course, and every book has its own section. Not only does the book correspond to the section, here, the distinction is the number of broken bars in the seal to the wine, then loop inside. If we think of a broken number as 3, then 5 is 5. After storing it, the parent tube will display the number of the seal. Each foreign country is converted once. This way, you can see the leader's drink, effects displayed in rotation. Now, let's look at the second time of the machine arrow. Machine arrows. First, the cleaning switch will be used at this time. For a 10K electric unit, a 20 wire flexible electrical group is required. Next, let's finish the half-cent portion. This section is also quite straightforward. We only need to read the electrical information from relatives to guide the teaching. If you read about high electrode, reading is a clear and meaningful relationship. That is our equipment technicians laid it flat. At this point, we need to light up the Emperor's Way. First roll call, Songmin Taiguang broke the stage. Because of our relatives, if you want a drop, just go west. We also added a salt event for the 10th second. We'll burn the horse in the same way. Alright, today you can complete your income again. When we square, Yi is lit up. When we clean our shoes, clean shoes and play with your rolling foot section. Yi absorption extinction. Let's look at the third time. Actually, you still want to go to the 15 日空 1 胆4大2 After the main button, you press the button. Wiring complete. Now let's look at the word half. This call combines the progress of the previous 2 time period. When the document inspection arrives, the case is quiet and not being investigated. SE. The first warning of virgins in E-16. At this point, the touchpad will touch the writer beam displaying word 6, simulating a retalk of a blinking head. Be sure to check Anja Anga in advance. Epidemic victims. written in the Beijing office. It always stops at a single number, the actual investment effect. Included here is DIMA. Just like dealing with them skip talking. It's only the other side. Let these characters be. Whoosh, whoosh. Two ORTAs, even if it's a setup, showing tunnel base numbers from 1 to 6. When I press a button, it stops at a certain number. To sum up, lessons last 3 hours in total, from fundamental digital key to clear display key. Finally, they were put together. Never stopped with a fun electronic investment. Actually, many people play more than just the work. All of this has become a technical lesson for a small teaching period. Step by step, it was put together. If the army is affected, it will also experiment with various effects. Because you are here. See you next time.